All right, man, we back. It's Goodfellas Sports TV. We back with episode 4. We on week 4, first down NFL live show, which we'll be doing every week. Last week I supposed it on Thursday because I was sick. I'm glad I got it in because I get to a lot of work last week I was supposed to. But that's here nor there. We back on time. Had to start an hour early today. So it'll fluctuate between 5 and 6. If anything else change, I'll let everybody know. Social media community tab or in ahead of time. But yeah, man, week 3 was better for us in the picks, and then we review week 3, then we preview week 4 and pick do the picks. Last week, I believe. Let's see how we really boiled it down last week. Yeah, I'll go through it in 1 second. The week before last, we was 10 out of 16, so that wasn't so bad. But I do appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, won't miss another video. So let me put it up. Last week we went with the Titans. They caught that L. The Bills won. We picked the Bills. I believe the Bills had beat they beat the Bengals last week, I believe it was. Yeah, they beat the Bengals. So we took the Jags. The Jags beat the Titans. We lost that one. Picked the Cowboys to beat the Dolphins. Picked the Bills to beat the Bengals last week. Took the Lions over the Eagles. I was successful there. Everybody took the Patriots over the Jets. I was successful there. I believe we took the Colts. Yep, we took the Colts over the Falcons. We were successful there. We took the Vikings over the Raiders. We were successful there. I believe we took the Chiefs. Yep, took the Chiefs over the Ravens. We were successful there. Green Bay was in a little bit of a closer game than I thought. They defeated the Broncos. We was right there. I lost this one. I thought the Cardinals would beat the Panthers. They didn't. Kyle Allen came in and balled. Also picked the Bucks to beat the Giants. The Giants came in and balled. Shout out to Daniel Jones. He proved a lot of people wrong early on. Also took the Chargers to beat the Texans. They lost. I took the 49ers over the Steelers. They won. That was a little closer than I thought it would be. Also took the Rams over the Browns. And I took the Bears over the Redskins. So we were 12 for, let me see, 12 for 16 last week. So bye weeks didn't kick in yet. So we were 12 for 16 last week. I don't think that's bad at all. Only got 4 games wrong. So I think I did pretty good last week. So we improving. Week 1 is always one of the tougher ones. We were 17 for 16. Week 2 we were 10 for 16. And now week 3 we 12 for 16. So we improved. So hopefully we can improve a little bit more. We can crack that FanDuel pick'em challenge. We still alive in the Survivor Series as well too. Last week I think I went with Dallas to defeat the Dolphins. So I went with the Lions week 1. The draw didn't hurt me, so I continued on. Week 2 I can't remember who I picked, but I won. And week 3 I took Dallas. So we alive in the Survivor Series. Young Jeff, salute. Just looking back last week, Dallas getting a lot of praise. And shout out to the Cowboys. They haven't beat anybody. All right, they beat Giants with Eli starting. They beat the Dolphins, and I can't remember who else they beat. I know they beat the Dolphins and the Giants and the Redskins. So at the end of the day, they did win 2 division games. Division games are crucial, but they didn't win one of the weakest divisions in football, other than the Philadelphia Eagles that keep that division afloat. But at the end of the day, Dak Prescott looked like he playing himself into a contract. I think our game of the week is the Cowboys and the Saints, just because the Packers and Philadelphia on Thursday. And you know how Thursdays are real fickle, especially with 2 injury-prone quarterbacks and Carson Wentz, Walker 2 and Wentz and Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? They're playing well. You know, Tony Pollard, he doing well. I think he had a $113. Was it last week? Zeke is getting back in the fold. Amari Cooper is looking like he need his money. And they did struggle versus the Dolphins a little bit, but they caught their tempo. And I think Josh Rosen will be okay, man. There, he going through a lot of adversity, and if he survives, I think he's gonna be a solid quarterback. But Dolphins just a bad team. Obviously, we're gonna talk a lot about the Dallas Cowboys playing the Baltimore Ravens next week. So we're gonna talk a lot about that today. But the Thursday night game, the recap. Marcus Mariota just not the guy. You know what I'm saying? Jameis Winston is looking better than he is now. Obviously, Jameis had more weapons than he had. Mariota had a running game and a good defense. Jameis just had better receivers, tight ends, Cameron Brake, O.J. Howard, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Adam Humphries a couple years ago. So, and Deshaun Jackson a year ago. At the end of the day, Mariota just not the guy. At the end of the day, you can actually say, well, the Titans don't have this receiver or that receiver. Corey Davis is pretty good, and Delaney Walker's pretty good, but he's just not doing nothing. And Gardner Minshew was out there throwing a block party on a really good defense in Tennessee. So a quarterback can make or break a team. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that won the Super Bowl with Brooks and Warren Sapp, or the Shannon Sharp, Ravens and Ray Lewis and Chris McAllister Ravens at all. They need a formidable quarterback. I believe if Tennessee get a quarterback and maybe another receiver on the outside, and maybe I think it maybe open up more running lanes for Derrick Henry, and I think it open up more running lanes for Deion Lewis. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just think Marcus Mariota just need to change the scenery. Do you really want to go to Ryan Tannehill? They basically like the same guy, but Gardner Minshew was tearing it up. He tossing touchdowns. Almost was a graduate assistant coach, Alabama. Now coming out that air raid system, I think in Washington State, you know he doing good things. So it could be a situation. Appreciate Ricky in the super chat with the hun, but I appreciate it, family. It can really boil down to Nick Foles might just be a backup. Salute, Ricky. Nick Foles just may be a backup for the majority of his career. It might just be destined that he might just be a good backup quarterback and come here and just do good things being the backup, man. So what's up, Renardo? So at the end of the day, I just think, at the end of the day, if Nick Foles come back healthy and Jacksonville rolling, it'll be interesting to see if they roll with Gardner Minshew. But I expect Gardner Minshew to hit the rookie wall. For Nick Foles' sake, he better hope he hit the rookie wall, or by the time he get healthy, he better hope not he hit the rookie wall and then bounce back and get hot again, and then Foles get healthy. Then they got to make a tough decision, because it's a ton of pressure on Nick Foles. When there's pressure on Nick Foles, when there's pressure on any person, when there's no pressure on the backup quarterback, he can come in and just ball with the talent of Nick Foles. You're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? But when you got expectations, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield, we talk about him in a minute. He got expectations coming year two. Lamar Jackson, we get to him in a minute. So, at the end of the day, we'll see, man. But Mariota just don't seem to be the guy. He get injured a lot. He hasn't put on weight, hit the weights. Him or Carson Wentz haven't hit the weight. So, end of the day, we talked about the Dolphins and the Cowboys, Buffalo and the Bengals. Bengals just a trash fire, man. Trash can fire, man. I pay attention a little bit to this game, and Dalton threw 2 picks in the game, 1 touchdown. They can't mount none on the ground, even though Mixon had 4 yards to carry 15, 60 yards. That's pretty good against Buffalo. But they just, at the end of the day, they just ain't got enough. But Buffalo, they got a good defense, top 5 defense. Last year, I think they was a top pass defense last year. This year, I think they slipped a little bit, but Frank Gore, the inconvenient truth, still getting it done. 14 carries, 76 yards, 5.4 average, 1 touchdown. Their rookie Singletary was out. I like him in fantasy when he playing. But Allen got to progress. I think he's played better. I think his progression angle is going up when Mariota's steadily going down. Allen got to take the next step in the passing game from the pocket for this team to be deadly. And him and John Brown they got to continue to build that chemistry. Him and Cole Beasley building a good chemistry. And I think for him, they need a number 1 wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? They need an Antonio Brown type of guy. But they undefeated. But if they're going to take the next step and be in a full rail-rounded football team, solid special teams, really good defense, and they go to New England this week, we'll talk about that a little bit more than usual. Josh Allen got to step up his passing game, and it'll come. You see Lamar Jackson for year 1 and year 2, and hopefully for Josh Allen, he steps it up. Eagles and Lions, I was primarily locked on this game. I'm a Lions fan. If you are, or you like the city of Detroit, check them on the channel out, Motor City Sports Talk. I just figured, this was a game the Lions was going to win. It was a game that most Lions fans had scratched out as an L. in Lincoln Financial. But at the end of the day, Lions has got one of the best pass defenses out there. And that's crazy because they front line hasn't really been producing the pressure that we thought it would. On paper, they got a lot of veteran guys. They got paid and they didn't play. They didn't play in training camp, regardless of his waiting on contracts or they wasn't healthy. So for LDBs to be defending so well, um, without a pass rush, that's key. And the linebackers play better. And, at the end of the day, people say the Eagles didn't have a receivers. That's fair game. But they had opportunities, and the Lions just, capitalized off their penalties. And Detroit just got to punch it in more when they in the red zone. Detroit should have won this game by 2 touchdowns at least. And they got to learn how to convert in the red zone and run the ball. But I ain't going to spend too much time on that because you can check them out the channel out, Motor City Sports Talk, for more views on anything Lions. Jets, Patriots, I mean, what else we need to say? The Jets stink. Patriots are good. I don't even need to dwell on that. We'll talk a little bit about Patriots and Buffalo coming up. They got some injuries. But Colts Falcons, I think and one of the things I want to do with this platform, I don't want to just harp on the Dallas Cowboys. You get that every day on First Take or Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. Kind of want to really hit other teams to kind of give everybody a nice slice of the pie. But the Falcons are a different team on the road. If it's going out during Antarctica or if it's going in the dome in Indianapolis, they're a different team. It just don't fucking matter. They are a different franchise when they're on the road. I think they still can win a division, but they're a different team. You know what I'm saying? I watched this game, man. Indianapolis, they ran amok on the ground. And that's what they want to do. They want to run the ball and they want to make plays down the field, or they want guys like T.Y. Hilton. They want guys like T.Y. Hilton to score off bubble screens and speed outs and shallow crosses. And, Marlon Mack, I got his name right, 16 carries for 74 yards, 1 touchdown, 4.6 on the ground. And Jacoby Brissett, like I told you guys, it wasn't a huge drop-off from Jacoby Brissett, from Andrew Luck to Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett can play 28 for 37, well over 50%, and maybe I think in the 60s. Obviously in the 60s, maybe high 60s, 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Jacoby Brissett can play the game. And I think a lot of people need to pay attention. Look, he got T.Y. Hilton who was half injured. Pascal, that receiver. Ebron and Jack Doyle did some things. Paris Campbell out of Ohio State still finding his way. And he had 310 yards. Matt Ryan was 29 for 34, higher completion percentage, 304 less yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, right? His running back ran for 5.5 yards carry, 16 carries, 88 yards, right? He got Julio, he got Sanu, he got Hooper, he got Freeman who can run it and catch it out the backfield, and Calvin Ridley. At the end of the day, and people consistently tell you, well, Matt Ryan is this good a player. Matt Ryan is this good a player, this and that. He got outplayed by Jacoby Brissett, no matter if it was Indianapolis, Atlanta, Detroit, New York, wherever they held this game at the end of the day, when are some of these TV analysts gonna just start telling the truth about Matt Ryan? Oh, it was the offensive coordinator last year. Who was the offensive coordinator last year? Whoever the dude was. And I don't think this year they got Steve Sarkisian back or whatever like that. It don't matter. A spade is a spade. Matt Ryan, just as good as Cam Newton. People just say, oh, Cam Newton only had one good year. Actually, Matt Ryan only had one good year when they went to the Super Bowl. He might have some other good statistical years, but Matt Ryan had a solid defense the Super Bowl year, and he had a high-powered offense. What they paying Julio, Freeman, and they got Calvin Ridley, Muhammad Sanu, and Austin Hooper. At the end of the day, at one point they had Tony Gonzalez. Matt Ryan just not that good. He not supposed to be getting outplayed by a backup in Jacoby Brissett, especially when he got support from his running game. So at the end of the day, I can't wait till they just start saying Matt Ryan is overrated and he ain't that good. They quick to say guys like Lamar Jackson off. They quick to write guys like Cam Newton off, but the media never write off guys like Matt Ryan. He garbage. And let's just face it, dude. He don't got the strongest arm and he just not a fucking winner. What last great college quarterback came out of Boston College? Seriously. That did shit in the pros. What last great player came from Boston College? Come on. Raiders, Vikings, Dalvin Cook went crazy. I think Dalvin Cook is an MVP candidate right now. He going stupid, and if the Minnesota got any presence of mind, they keep handing the ball off to that rookie Madison, I think his name is, and they keep handing the ball off primarily to Dalvin Cook. And when you're not handing the ball off to Dalvin Cook, you need to be finding him in the receiving game and screens and and stuff of that nature, and taking the game out of Kirk Cousins' hands. Kirk Cousins ain't gonna win them shit, even with Thielen and Stephon Diggs and stuff of that nature. They need to keep that game, the running game, and play action to the rest of them dudes. But shout out to Dalvin Cook. The Raiders ain't that good, but I think the Raiders. It may sound stupid. I think the Raiders are moving in the right direction once they get rid of to get the quarterback they want, get Carr out of there. I think they got some good pieces up there, man. I think they'd be all right. It may not show right now, but I think they got the foundation for a good team. Um, Chiefs and the Ravens. Obviously my homeboy threw another block party. All right. They was talking about Pro Football Focus ranked my homeboy number 6 best quarterback in the league. Um, Based off some throw shit, they told us Tom Brady 1, Dakota Prescott 2. They smoking crack. Patrick Mahomes is out of this world. Had this been Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball, Luke Kuechly, salute. Yeah, okay, Luke Kuechly. I didn't know he went to Boston College, or it slipped my mind. But yeah, he great. He definitely best middle linebacker in the big league. My apologies, Tony Mack. But Patrick Mahomes had Aaron Rodgers when he was throwing the ball and making unbelievable plays. He the greatest thrower of football. Now Mahomes doing it. Now they doing anything to discredit him. Oh, he can't beat Tom Brady. I mean, a lot of guys can't beat Tom Brady, let alone their first year full time starting. But what he doing with that ball? He putting the ball. First it was he got all these weapons. And I'm not gonna lie, ain't too many black quarterbacks in their prime had these weapons. McNabb didn't have these weapons. Michael Vick didn't have these weapons. Russell Wilson to this day didn't have these weapons. Okay, but at the end of the day, Cam Newton, best receiver, was like Ted Ginn or Jericho Cotchery in the Super Bowl year. But at the end of the day, we had plenty of other guys white quarterbacks who had these weapons. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they took away his best weapon. First it was Tyreek Hill. Now he throwing it down to Harmon and Robinson on a dime. You know what I'm saying? Now he throwing it to receivers. Oh, but they fat. At the end of the day, ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. This dude is by far right now the most phenomenal quarterback that we've seen. He's dropping the ball in the bucket 30, 40, 50 yards in the air. He hitting receivers in stride. No matter if they run a 4-3, a 4-4, or 4-5, he hitting them. And his running game really ain't been there. But Lamar Jackson, he held him in check. But Mark Ingram did his thing. 16 carries, 103, 3 touchdowns. And that's the Lamar Jackson effect. You got to respect Lamar Jackson mobility. And Mark Ingram just going to eat out there. But I think Lamar Jackson, he'll figure it out. They came back late. My homeboy, 27 for 37, 374, 3 TDs. And it's a guy that's throwing it down the field. And, and I think at some point they need to run the ball a little bit more. They ran the ball between Williams and McCoy. They ran it 17 times. Now people got to start respecting that deep passing game. I think it's a nice time for Andy Reid to call some draws, call some tight end screens, call some receiver screens, call some running back screens. And I think it's important to get McCoy going in the receiving game and not, really, just throw the ball deep. I think underneath going to open up for them. And I think the box, when you see 6, 7 men in the box, I think, or you see an extra cornerback in there, not linebacker, I think it's going to help Kansas City down the long run when it starts snowing and get to the playoffs to run the ball more, so people respect that deep when people soften up to the deep half of the field. But yeah, he by far the best quarterback. I mean, put him and Dak Prescott in the same fucking sentence is crazy, man. Ain't too many. Him and they said Carson Wentz better, and I ain't see that Sunday. All right, my homeboy, he lost Tyreek Hill. Come on. He's still balling. But Broncos, Packers, there's nothing really to talk about there. Broncos offense still not on track. Packers offense still not on track. The Broncos actually had a chance to win this game. I think they turned it over or the tie. So the Broncos could easily be 2-1 if they had a quarterback. And Drew Lock, he on IR, they rookie. So Flacco just not cutting it there. So if they had a quarterback, the Broncos have a solid team, in my opinion. Panthers, Cardinals, Kyle Allen threw a party. On Arizona. He was 19 for 26, 261 through the air, 4 TDs. McCaffrey, one of the better running backs in the league, 24 carries, 153, 1 TD. And he also probably got it. Now he didn't get a TD on through the air, but hey, 2 toilet bowl teams right now. We'll see if Kyle Allen got the juice next week. Daniel Jones came in versus the Buccaneers, and he had a good game. Buccaneers ain't the best defense around, but hey, Shaq Barrett, he got 8 sacks this season throughout 3 weeks. 3 weeks, Shaquille Barrett got 3 sacks, and he was sitting behind somebody on some other team. On the Broncos, he was sitting behind Bradley Chubbs and Von Miller, and he comes over to Tampa Bay and he has 8 sacks in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? 8 sacks in 3 weeks. Can you 8 sacks? Um, but Jones had 23 completions, 36 incompletions, 336 yards, 2 TDs. So he done well. And keep in mind, Saquon Barkley was out, but Jameis Winston, him and Mike Evans was clicking. Mike Evans had like 3 touchdowns, 190 through the air, 8 catches. So, at the end of the day, they're a bad football team. Tampa. Jameis may not be the greatest quarterback, but they trying to find a run game. Defense trying to get there. Just two bad teams, and they kicker missed the extra point, and that's how New York won. But Seattle and the Seahawks, Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Trouble Waters, he had a good game. 19 for 27, 177, 2 touchdowns. Kamara, he was a factor. 16 carries, 69 yards, 1 TD. He had 9 catches, 92 yards, 1 TD. And he's gonna be very, very important, Kamara, on what they're doing. In that offense. But Seattle defense ain't as good as it was in the previous years. But Russell Wilson really pretty much carrying this team. And if this team is in a NFC West contention for that NFC West title or their playoff team, I think Russell Wilson should be considered MVP, considered for MVP. But New Orleans, they got good defense, man. I gotta say that, man. Cameron Jordan and my Lattimore, some of them dudes be playing out there, man. And I think they be in the game. They just got to find a way to exploit Jared Cook and exploit Michael Thomas while Drew Brees is gone. If they're able to find a way to get them the ball with Teddy Bridgewater, I think they'll be all right. Texas and Chargers, that was a good game. Man, Deshaun Watson pulled a Houdini trick, but he did an incompletion. But he had a good game. He had 351 through the air, 25 completions, 34 incompletions. 25, 34, he had 9 incompletions, 351, 3 TDs. Carlos Hyde didn't give him much on the ground. Neither did Duke Johnson. But Steels, he Steels did well. Hopkins didn't do much, but you talk about Phillip Rivers. He had 318, 31 for 46, 2 touchdowns. And Houston stopped their run game, but they couldn't stop Keenan Allen. He was 13 receptions, 183, 2 TDs. But I got a feeling that Texans and Chargers, especially when Chargers get healthy, they'll be there in the end. They may even meet in the playoffs. Steelers and 49ers. I don't think Mason Rudolph that bad. I think he got a future with Pittsburgh. Man, he was 14 for 27, 174, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Juju got on the board this week. He had 3 catches, 181, 1 TD. It came on a long TD, but they're gonna have a long season. Minka Fitzpatrick, whoever they get, until next year they're gonna have a long season. But it's a learning experience for Mason Rudolph. Garoppolo didn't play pretty good. He was 23 for 32, 277, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. But his running backs is doing well. Monster, he averaged 6.6 yards to carry, 79 yards. Breida averaged 4.9 yards to carry, 68 yards. They run the ball well. And then, George Kittle's ain't really heated up yet. They got Debo Samuels and Godwin, Goodwin. They're going to be all right. But Monday night game was terrible. Bears and Redskins, it was inevitable. You know what I'm saying? It was inevitable. So, shit, what can you fucking say? Trubisky threw 2 touchdowns, but it was just based off Case Keenum turning the ball over. But other than that, yeah, man. We talk about the Rams and the Browns? I skipped over the Rams and the Browns. The Rams look like they're not clicking like that. Cooper Kupp looked healthy, but Jared Goff looked a little bit off. He did get exposed in the playoffs by the Patriots, and he just don't look comfortable. Todd Gurley don't look comfortable. They're trying to save him. But hey, the Rams winning. You know what I'm saying? They winning games, and I think they undefeated too. So you can't say too much about that. So I think they eventually get in sync. They got a good coach, and I think I think they figure it out. Yeah, they are undefeated, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, they are undefeated, so they'll figure it out. I'm not too much concerned about what they're going through. But other headlines, like I said, I just did a video. Baker Mayfield was called overrated by Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan talked a lot of shit. He said Teddy Bridgewater was trash, garbage. They should have started Jason Taysom Hill, and obviously it's the reason why he's sitting at the podium talking and not coaching. But I like Baker. I think he'll be all right. Freddie Kitchens got to do a lot of things to make a game easier. I think turn the ball, handed it to Carlos Hyde, doing more 3-step drops, play action, short routes. I mean, just you don't have to throw deep every time, and that's what they was looking to do is chuck the ball downfield. Greg Robinson, your left tackle, that's terrible. So Freddie Kitchens got to make the adjustment. They got to do more rub routes. They got to do more, more shallow crosses, drag routes. You got the guys to do it. Odell can catch the ball on a 5 yard hitch route, or he can catch the ball on a screen, a bubble screen, or he can take a shallow crossing route or a slant to the house. So it ain't like Odell got to get vertical. You know what I'm saying? And Jarvis Landry can work underneath. So Freddie Kitchens got to do a better job of, you know, running the ball more, play action, and throwing shorter routes. But yeah, shit crazy. Ricky said Mike Evans a beast. Yeah, Mike Evans a problem. He was sick the first 2 weeks. I had him too. He won me some money on FanDuel. I knew he was gonna go off. Chiefs and Pats bringing the money home this week. Headbutt to win. Tech say they're not gonna call out Ryan like they did Cam Newton. Cam started out 8-0 last year before the injury. Now they bury him. Matt Ryan, nothing special. He been overrated for shit. Mahomes makes his receivers. I agree. Dream Chaser, that was Young Judge. Dream Chaser said Mahomes, Steph Curry of the league. I seen a little Keekly comment. He said, young Hip boy got size on him too. He big dude. Who you talking about? Jacoby. Oh, Jacoby. Yeah, Jacoby a problem. They said Jack Boy. He said, Ramon Turner said, I don't wish snow on us in Kansas City Cats. I got him. I don't need none of that energy. Yeah, it's snow in Kansas City, dog. Y'all gotta get used to it. You better go get you a bucket to get that truck out the garage. Ball control. Joe Flacco solid. Just need a line. Joe Flacco, I think he done. I think this is his last shot, but he got the complexion for the protection. But yeah, I like Joe Flacco in Baltimore. He should have went to 2 Super Bowls if Lee Evans ain't dropped that catch. Yeah, we just be hanging in there. Lions. Chief system make the receivers. I don't know if a system make the receivers, bro. You could say Donovan McNabb. Freddie Mitchell's the people's champ. What they had, Pinkerton and Eagles. They had James Pinkerton. They ain't had no Chad Hall. Them niggas ain't had no receivers in Philadelphia, but they produced. They produced. At the end of the day, I don't think it's just the system, dog. The way my homeboy dropping it in the bucket, McNabb ain't never had that accuracy, dog. Never. He ain't never had that accuracy, man, McNabb. But other than that, then you got Jalen Ramsey calling in sick. He don't want to be in Jacksonville. He don't want to be part of a loser franchise, but they don't want him to leave. You know what I'm saying? They don't want him to leave, man. And I understand. When you got one of the better corners in football that travel in the slot, that travel to the X, travel to the Z, can cover tight ends as well too. And then eventually, I think he gonna be a safety down the line when he get older. I mean, I wouldn't want to lose that guy neither. But at the end of the day, if he not happy, he not happy. Um, Either they pay him the money he want and get him happy, or you trade him. And they asked for 2 number 1s, and obviously they probably got offered 2 number 1s. He said he wants to leave. Relationship is over with Coughlin. Yeah, Coughlin a hard ass. You know what I'm saying? I think I put Coughlin a hard ass. So he don't want to be there. Shit, trade him. But just know if you trade for him, you're gonna have to give him that money, and you're gonna have to give up assets. So um, I wouldn't mind having him in Detroit. Him and Darius Slay. But we'll see. Eagles and any other headlines coming through this week. Oh yeah, Antonio Brown. We've been talking about Antonio Brown, man, and obviously it's coming out that the Patriots may have cut him more for money than over what he did, but it don't matter. He did what he did. I don't expect him to be back in the league this year. Phenomenal talent. Could a team like Buffalo had used him? Yeah. Could other teams use him? Yeah. But really, he need to be humbled. You know what I'm saying? And even with To, he remind you of To, but To wasn't stupid. You know what I'm saying? To wasn't stupid. To, he worked hard like To. To was one of the greatest receivers I've seen. But Antonio Brown just looked like a special type of stupid. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But other than that, that is what it is, man. That was pretty much the big stories from this week, man. But Redskins still ain't tried to trade Trent Williams. I know Trent Williams can help out the Lions. One of the best left tackles in the league. That's that slave owner mentality. He don't want to be there. They don't want to let him go. In the NBA, if you don't want to be there, they gonna let your ass go. You know what I'm saying? Where you want to get traded to? NFL, they still in them. They still in that owner's mentality. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They still got that owner's mentality. They don't. They haven't. The NFL, they haven't changed with the times. They don't want it to be a players' league like Major League Baseball. They don't want it to be a players' league like the NBA. And the players don't want it to be a players' league because they don't realize they got leverage. You know, they don't realize they got the leverage. And it seemed like, you see that woman that like to be in an abusive relationship, she just keep picking the wrong dude. Either he abusing her physically or he cheating on her, abusing her mentally, and she just keep finding abusive man or a bad guy. That's the NFL players. They just won't keep wanting to get treated bad, and then when they get old, they want to cry about not having lifetime benefits and shit. It's people at the plant that got better benefits long term than the players in the NFL do. And if they want that to change, they're going to take a stand, man. If they and Kaepernick was an idiot. If they weren't gonna stand for guaranteed money, if they weren't gonna stand in the franchise tag, if they weren't gonna stand, because the owners was racist or whatever it was, or because they was getting mistreated, what make you think they was gonna stand for your black ass? Real talk. What they make you think if they won't stand for their own, if they won't stand for generational wealth? Because your health is generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if your money running low, you know what I'm saying, and you can't get to the hospital, then guess what? Your kids got to take you to the hospital. Your kids got to be your caregiver for what the state paying. So if they won't stand for generational wealth, they won't stand for their health, they damn sure wasn't going to stand for Colin Kaepernick, and he's a fucking fool for thinking that. But hey, it is what it is. Packers need to get rid of Jimmy Graham. Yeah. Only place that can revive Jimmy Graham is New Orleans. He said, "You don't think Baker deserves more criticism for arguably having?" No, it's coaching. They picked the wrong coach. Freddie Kitchens called a draw on 4th and 9, bro. It ain't Baker Mayfield. They don't have a blocking up front, and then when you don't block, you got to run the ball, or you got to do the 3-step game, 3-step slant. It ain't shit. If you ain't blocking up front, it don't matter who the hell you got. If you ain't got no time to throw the ball, and your coach called him 5 steps in the hits, 7-step drops, man, that motherfucker, by the time he get to his 6th step, he got to move off the spot and throw on the run. So it don't even matter. It don't even matter. It ain't no blame on Baker Mayfield. Obviously, people gonna put blame on him because he talked that shit, but it's the coach. He trying to call plays, and he trying to be a first-time head coach. He just started calling plays last year. It was a bad hire, but that's the Cleveland Brown thing to do. You got all this talent, right? You got all this talent to drive this fast NASCAR. You gonna go get Danica Patrick, or you gonna go get Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Gordon, one of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna get Joe Smo off the street? Come on, man. They went to go get Joe Smo off the street to drive this fancy NASCAR, and they driving it right in the ground. It ain't Baker Mayfield's fault. He talked that shit. It's gonna fall on him. You ever notice? That's why I tell people in other franchises outside of Detroit, it falls on the quarterback, except for like situations with Atlanta with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford very similar. It ain't never they fought in their particular cities or media wise. You know what I'm saying? Every other team is the quarterback. The quarterback get the blame. It cherishes the victories. That's how it is in football. Oh, it's a team sport. Hey, people don't care if you ain't got time to block up front. You know what I'm saying? People don't care if your coordinator called a draw on the 4th and 9. All they gonna look at is the throws or the interceptions, or they ain't paying attention to who blocking and who not. That's just the game. Quarterback get the blame, and it get the victory. Get all the credit for the victory. But start off with week 4 picks. Eagles Packers tomorrow. I'm gonna go with the Packers, the home team. I sure won't walk it to them to win it though. But that Alshon Jeffrey's coming back. That might be a must win for the Eagles. That might be a must win. But I'm gonna just hit the Packers because they at the crib. But I only because of injuries. You know what I'm saying? I can see Green Bay losing that game. But if they had Deshaun Jackson and a healthy Alshon, I might think about it. But I think Green Bay at home, defense playing outstanding. Short week. I like Green Bay being at the crib, and I believe Green Bay just played at the crib. They ain't got to travel on a short week or nothing. Eagles just played at home and they got to travel on a short week. You ever notice the NFL give preferential treatment to like the Packers on their scheduling? Dallas, how does Dallas win the NFC West? I mean NFC East, and they got the easiest schedule, one of the easiest schedules in the league. You ever notice that? Deshaun ain't back. You ever notice that? Green Bay get to play on the Thursday night after playing on a home game. After playing a home game. Come on. How does that work? I don't understand it. But it is what it is. Redskins, Giants, toilet bowl. Giants at home. Oh, it's an interesting run right here. I'm going to take the Giants just because they're at the house. But I got a feeling the Redskins going to get on the board. But I'm going to take the Giants just because they're at home. Giants over the Redskins, as if anybody cares. Chiefs, Lions. I got the Chiefs 40-28. Just think Lions at home, but I just think you put the Chiefs on that turf. Harmon, Robinson, Kelsey, my homeboy. I love my home team, but this is the one I marked as an L already. I got the Chiefs doing their thing, man. Hope we win, but I just think my homeboy and the crew, they just too much right now. But hey, I don't think they suffering no time. He said he got the Redskins gonna win. I can see it. I'm gonna go with the home team. Titans and Falcons. Falcons at home. I take the Falcons. They're a different team inside the whatever the fuck they call them where they play at now. Used to be the Georgia Dome. But I take the Falcons over the Titans. I think the Titans defense can make some plays. I just don't trust Mariota to do what he's supposed to do. But I think that's an underrated game this week. Titans and Falcons. That's a 1 p.m. game. Sunday. Baltimore at the Cleveland at Baltimore. I don't know what Baltimore defense looking like this year, but they always solid. You know, I think Jimmy Smith's still out. They got Errol Thomas. They got rid of a lot of guys. Darius Smith, Terrell Suggs gone. Over the years, they got rid of some of the other CJ Mosley gone. But one thing I do know, Baltimore can always get after the passer, especially if you don't have an offensive line. I like Baltimore to get the dub. I like Lamar Jackson. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think it's going to be like 20 to like 13, 20 to 17. But I like Baltimore in the game just because they can't protect Baker Mayfield and Freddie Kitchens. I don't believe he's going to make the adjustments in a short passing game. But I think it can go the other way if they can make the adjustments and max protects, chip out the backfield, run the ball more, make some short passing plays. But I'm going to trust Lamar Jackson to do enough to win. Raiders coming to Indianapolis. I like Indianapolis. This could be a trap game for Indianapolis. Having the Raiders come here. I can see the Raiders kind of stealing one out there. But I think T.Y. still hurt. But they're going to run the ball with Marlon Mack. Jacoby Brissett going to make enough plays through the air. I like the Colts to win. I like them to win 28-17. I like them favorably, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Raiders did what they're supposed to do or did what they think they're supposed to do and win. But I like the Colts playing solid defense and they're running the ball and Brissett making some plays through the air. Patriots and Bills. I think it's another trick game right here. Tom Brady will always have a ton of problems playing in Buffalo. But New England is on a different role. I know Julian Edelman hurt his back. We know that. It'll be a tough game. Bills got top passing defense, but man, I'm gonna take the Patriots here. I'm gonna take the Patriots 24-21. I think they're gonna edge it out with a whatever name, Granikowski field goal at the end. I think they win with a field goal in Buffalo. But I think it'll be a close game. No Antonio Brown. Josh Gordon still ain't looking apart. I think JV is white, and I think that defense gonna stud up on them. But I think it'll be a close game. Panthers and Texans. That's a good one. Um, if Kyle Allen keep playing the way he's playing, Christian McCaffrey should have a good day. But Houston inside of the Reliance Stadium Dome, I like them. I like Houston. Maybe 31, 20, 24, somewhere like that. But I like the Texans to get the job done this week. Um, Over there. Oh, Chargers, Dolphins stuff. Chargers lose that game. They need to go home. I got the Chargers big in that game. They just lost two in a row to the Lions and the Texans. So I like Keenan Allen to have a huge game. Buccaneers, Rams. I like the Rams in this game. See if Shaq. I think they having problems protecting Jared Goff too. I'd like to see if Shaq Barrett get a touchdown in this game, but Aaron Donald gonna cause havoc on famous Jameis. So I like the Rams to get the job done this week. Vikings, Bears, the Bears. It's a good game. This can be a candidate for game of the week too. They in Chicago. Chicago got one of the best defense. Minnesota got a good defense. Whoever quarterback can make more plays, whoever can run the ball, be more creative with their running backs with the backfield, or make more plays downfield is going to win. I slightly get an edge to Kirk Cousins, but I think Chicago defense is better than Minnesota defense. It's a close game. I'm going to say Dalvin Cook is going to probably make a play or two. Tyreek Cohen, I see a good little small docu-series on him, documentary on E News, E60. I'm going to give Minnesota the edge. I'm going to say 13-10 Minnesota. It's a close game. Usually the home team already automatically get awarded 3.5 points, but I like Minnesota here only because Trubisky sucks. I give Kirk Cousins a slight edge over Trubisky, and Dalvin Cook is just on another level right now, and I expect Dalvin Cook to make a play or two. But that game can go either way. Jaguars and Broncos. Jags go up to Bronco country. They defense stepped up last week. And Gardner Minshew going a mile high. I'm only going to take the Jaguars off the strength of Gardner Minshew. I trust him more than Joe Flacco. And I like the Jaguars defense. So I'm going to slightly give an advantage to the Jags. I say the Jags win by a field goal. I'm going to skip over the Cowboys Saints game. I'm going to cook on that for a second. But Bengals and Steelers, toilet bowl game. Shit, I mean, Monday Night Football sucks for a second week in a row, huh? I'm gonna get an edge to the Steelers. I'm gonna say the Steelers get on the board and they get a win. I just think they played well versus the 49ers last week. I think Andy Dalton is playing to lose and not playing to win. I get an edge to the Steelers now. Saints and the Cowboys game of the week. One of the reasons it's the game of the week because Drew, not just obviously people say it wouldn't be because Drew Brees out. Teddy Bridgewater played good. You still got Taysom Hill, who didn't take steps, didn't have a pass attempt at quarterback last week. It's in New Orleans. Cowboys rolling. This would be the best team they play, even with a backup quarterback. Last year, the Cowboys beat Drew Brees on a short week. Obviously, it was deep in the year. And you telling me a quarterback who having problems throwing the ball down the field in Drew Brees on a short week, on the road, it lined up for the Cowboys to be successful. And then again, they still didn't just stump the Cowboys. They didn't stump the Saints. So it's a huge game for Teddy Bridgewater. Alvin Kamara got to be big. They got to find a way to utilize Jared Cook. They got some good matchups with Jared Cook's speed and size. And Michael Thomas got to have more than 54 receiving yards next week. So we'll see how good the Cowboys is. The Saints defense travels, and they defense traveled to Seattle last week. They gave up some garbage time touchdowns to Seattle, but you know what? I'm gonna take the Saints to win. I ain't picking no Cowboys. I'm taking the Saints. Go, y'all. The Saints this week. Y'all beat the Cowboys. Y'all can beat the Saints for the rest of the week. I got the Saints defeating the Cowboys this week. So shout out to all my Saints fans. So that's what we rolling with this week, man. So that's how I'm riding out. I bet ESPN mad as hell Monday Night Football for the third straight week is ass. Jets, Browns, Redskins, Bears, and Bengals, Steelers. Yeah, man, they ratings gonna suck this week. I mean, obvious. I mean, shit, even the Vikings Bears would have been a better Monday night game. I mean, you ain't had too many picks this week. Ohio Patriots and Bills would have been a better Monday night game. Shit, Lions and Chiefs would have been a better Monday night game. They stopped with the Thursday night game. They should have made Eagles and Packers a Monday night game. But hey, it is what it is, man. Appreciate everybody for checking in. For those the picks for the week, so I'll run through them again before I get off. You got the Packers over the Eagles, Giants over the Skins, Chiefs over the Lions, Falcons over the Titans, Ravens over the Browns, Colts. Who the fuck they playing? I'm trying to keep my memory sharp. Colts are playing. Colts playing the Raiders. Got Patriots over Bills. The Texans over Panthers. Obviously, Chargers over Dolphins. Rams over Bucks. Seahawks. Did I skip this one? Yeah, I did. My bad. I skipped the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I got the. Let me see. Hold on. I don't know how I missed that one. Hold on. I might have skipped. Hold on. Yeah, I skipped the Cardinals and the. I skipped the Cardinals and the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks. They ain't no thing. I think the Seahawks gonna win. Cardinals at home though. Then I took the Vikings over the Bears, the Broncos, Jags over Broncos, and the Saints over Cowboys, and I got Steelers over the Bengals. Yeah, shout out to me in the super chat, man. He said Cowboys about to blow the Saints out. We'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully Hopefully not, but I got the Saints. But hey, appreciate everybody for checking in, man. Don't forget, it's in the NFL Live playlist. And we'll be back next week with some more football talk. And I probably won't be back live until Friday. Maybe later on tonight if something pop off. If not, probably Friday. Appreciate the love, support. Make sure you share the video, hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. We gone.